Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Fikri Faris bin Azmi. Today is about my confession that I am suffer in having bad communication skill with the people who not from my similar proficiency language perspective. This is my topic. This is about language barrier. Many people, including myself, confess, and also people traveling abroad often encounter a language barrier. This is because the people who come to a new country at an adult age, when language learning is a cumbersome process, can have particular difficulty overcoming the language barrier. Similar difficulties occur at the multinational meetings, where interpreting services can be costly, hard to obtain, and prone to be error. Of course, having a bad directive order would bring communication stress, can be one of the biggest sources of the stress in relationship. Here, on how to talk with someone who doesn't speak your language. First, use gesture. Whether the person you are trying to communicate with can understand a single word you are saying or not, simple gestures can be often be helpful in reinforcing meaning of conveying basic ideas. Use gestures such as pointing at objects that are almost universally understood. Using your hand to indicate size, location, and so on can be very helpful. Then be careful. Not all gestures are universal. Some common gestures in America have a very different meanings in other places. For example, the common sign for OK or gesture in Greece and Turkey. So keep it simple. For the number 2, add it out. While it might seem silly, sometimes you can communicate by acting out what you're trying to communicate. Like in a game of charades, people might laugh at you, but if you can get your point across, it's probably worth it. For example, if you're trying to find a good place to eat, you might add out the motion taking some bites with a fork, then rub your belly and make a potent sound such as For number 3, draw the picture.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Hazman bin Muhammad Muklis. I will present about the method and the result of our research about the different language barrier in communication. So, the method that I analyze is we have 3 methods that used to obtain information to solve the barriers in communication using different languages is by conducting questionnaire, a survey, and the second method will be interview, and the last but not least method to obtain information for this issue is conducting online research on internet. So the first one is the conducting questionnaire survey is one of the fast way to collect information, as the issue is too subjective and requires a lot of people to answer to get accurate information. Well, by the interview, the method to collect information for the issue is require a long period of the time to be conducted because the interview needs to communicate or speak to interviewer, and two-way communication and needed in order for the interviewer obtain information from the interviewer. And the last one will be online journal and research. Well, this method is the fastest way because it's only required time and not clear. Therefore, in order to deliver a the 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 way to communicate to each other. So the result that I got from the method first is the from conducting the questionnaire. So the result is not really accurate because some of the respondents did not answer the questionnaire, because this questionnaire is like you're doing a survey, so most of it just tick by tick and not recently do it as important for them. This method also require the respondent to have a knowledge in reading and writing. So the scope of the respond to this issue should be people who have difficulties in communication. Is required to respond it to be able to understand the question in the questionnaire. It is not suitable method to obtain information for the issue because when people do not understand the question asked, the result will not be accurate to present. Means that if the questionnaire, if the person itself didn't understand the question, so maybe the answer is not same as the question asked. So that's why the questionnaire is not very accurate because it is based on people knowledge. So the second one is result of the interview. This method requires a lot of people to be conducted because the interviewer must interview the person maybe by the phone or maybe face to face or maybe a message or maybe everything, but actually the interviewer is most focusing on face to face because you have to ask the question and the person have to answer the question, and it makes things happen because we have to have the answer from the people about this kind of problems. However, this time-consuming method has required a lot of time. The interviewer can ask the interviewer the question is not clear compared to the online research before this. Okay, so the last but not least, the result of the online research engine. This method is the cheapest way because it's just using the internet. The internet you can get it anywhere, even though in the restaurant or maybe in the public. Okay, so this kind of way is just not conduct to time consuming. However, the result is the method will not be as accurate as the second method, means the interview, because the interview is using face to face. But the information in there may be varied and not according to the objective of the research. If you do in the online, that you can put the picture or maybe you can put the video, so that the question for the people they can answer. Maybe they didn't understand the question, but if they're looking at the video or at the picture, they will understand a bit about what the question is about. So it's enough for me from about the method and result. I will pass to my friend to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Learning a new language via mobile apps can be very helpful to practice, to have things sink in. But if you are a total beginner, you may be way more successful taking a language courses or going abroad. Most people in the world are multilingual, and everybody could be. No one is rigorously excluded from another's language community except through lack of time and effort. Different languages protect and nourish the growth of the different culture, where different pathways of the human knowledge can be discovered. They certainly make life richer for those who know more than one of them.